what he's going to be playing. I think Thormond, he's probably either going to be running something really funky, or he might just default to red mid range if he's serious. Oh,
Wow.
Archers versus red mid range. Okay, well there we go. Man, this feels much more comfortable. Uh,
Oh man,
oh wow.
this is crazy. Now, both players have extraordinary hands. You know, despite having hate seed in your hand, you're really happy whenever you have a ranger and a pest. But from spirospero, Kaleem, Archer, and Soul Drain is so
Yeah,
good in this matchup. It's like the perfect cards to have. And it'll
yeah.
be
I
interesting
mean,
to see if Thorman plays around that.
Thormond's hand is cool and all, and Shadim Pest plus the trigger is great, but I think you're right. Spiro's hand is just Jesus.
Okay, and that's
But
cool. So Thorman wants to play around Soul Drain. He's not vulnerable to wind soldiers at all for quite a few turns. So he's saying, you know
yeah,
what, I'll play around Soul Drain, make sure I don't get, you know, pressured too early.
yeah. People have started doing this recently, and I think against red it's a bit awkward because it's kind of 50-50 whether they have ciphers or flame burst. But against yellow, it's it's going to be a while till it can get wind soldier, or at least wind soldiered well. Like Spiro would have to go through this 4-1 first before really getting to wind soldier the 4-3, so it's still not vulnerable.
So Keen's Faithful's a card that started to show up more and more in red mid-range. Players are cutting back on fire elementals since yellow is becoming way more popular on the meta. And so instead they're putting in Keen's Faithfuls, which is allowing Thormund to go much more aggressive with his double landing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. Though the problem is, in a lot of situations, it's quite bad against Archer, since Archer pings for one without needing anything. On the flip side, it's very good against Charger. So yeah, it's quite a volatile card in this matchup. It can either be insane and just kind of win you the game on its own, or it can get pinged by an Archer and make you very sad.
So Spyro's opting into double land instead of making the desert next to his orb to
It's
hope to
gonna be.
shoot across.
I wonder how he's going to play the next part of this though, because he doesn't really have anywhere to summon. Does he block with the Outland Ranger and summon Archer behind it, maybe?
I think with how he double landed, I thought for sure he would summon it on the desert because it looked like he was trying to deny a close mountain spot by cutting off like this, but now the King's Faithful can step over and get that aggressive mountain.
Which looks like is what's going to happen. And the Pest is in the house. So Spiro can clear this here for 3 mana if he just scoots over Kaleem, campfires, and Soul Drains the 4-1.
Right.
And it sucks to lose 6. Like, even if Kaleem survives, it's really lame to lose 6 toughness to this Pest because it makes you very vulnerable to things like Ground Shaker. But okay, I was going to say I think he has to do it because of his summoning spots are camped, and you can't really take 6 this early. But I guess he disagrees. So I'd be interested to see how he handles this. He probably still has to Soul Drain the 4-1. And then is he just going to block with a Charger maybe? Or, like, he could just go straight into a race, start jumping by putting archers in front of the 6-4.
You know, if you are double collecting, your opponent's single collecting, you can just block with Archer and it's not that bad for you. Because
Yeah,
while you are going down cards as he kills them, in terms of Feria, you're going equal.
yeah, just archer. I mean, 1 damage for 2 mana isn't great, but if, as you say, if you're double collecting, that's still reasonably even.
Do you think you'll play 2 creatures? Like drop the Sagittarius now as well?
It looks like he might be planning to play the Charger. Oh, I guess he's just denying spots. So one thing that's notable is he's taken out all the Axe Grinder spots with how he's played it. Which, I mean, which Thorman at the moment doesn't care about because he doesn't have the grinder, but at some point it will come up. So, I mean, there was a choice to be made here. Thorman's kind of opted in for the trade Spiro has set up because he's not defending against Kaleem.
Right. And now, if spirospero wants to opt into it, he can hit face, but before he does that, he can desert to develop a Sagittarius. Or he could
Yeah, or
Sagittarius at home, make the desert, and hit with a follower,
yeah.
and do a 5 power turn. Or set
Well,
up the
with a
charger.
flash wind, he could hit with Kaleem, scoot it over, drop the followers, put it where Kaleem was. So hit twice that way and then drop a charger as well.
Is it worth it to use the flash wind then?
I think so because it gives you an extra summon, and you can keep everything safe with Kaleem if you flash wind it like northwest to block the 4/3.
If you were going to hit with Kaleem and hit with a follower then, do you drop the Sagittarius? Like, should we have seen Sagittarius come down, desert,
Uh,
then Kaleem hit, flash wind over, follower step over hit, and then charger get played?
well, he could have done everything, so maybe the Sagittarius wouldn't have achieved too much. Oh, that's interesting. But so if he blocks with the follower, he could also, like, now would be a time when perhaps he should have also dropped Sagittarius. Okay, yeah. So it looks like Spiro's blocking 2 spots and trying to force one of the 6/3s to hit something. But in which case he did lose 1 mana with his ordering. Oh, is Thormond just gonna bolt? He doesn't need to bolt both creatures. He can just do one. Hit Thormond, hit Spiro to 6. Then he can clear the Kaleem if he wants to, or he could just drop a hit seed on face. So the most extra damage Windborn, uh,
Windstorm charger is
yeah,
plus
Windstorm
6,
Charge,
yeah.
yeah. So that's 8 damage. 11 from Kaleem, 12 from the known Campfire, 14 from 14 from follower. So I mean, it's just about possible. Well, actually, I'm not sure. Off 3 cards. I mean, with enough cards, it's possible with like Wind Soldiers and Flash Winds. The Thormond's dead, but it seems incredibly unlikely. Yeah, so Thormond thinks the same thing. Just he's not worried about the damage Spiro's doing. He just wants to ensure he's got the kill. And he got to keep the Flame Blast, which means any one of his creatures hitting face is lethal now.
He can even shoot with the Sagittarius, which is going to be 1 additional damage.
Yeah, that was a choice for Thormond. He could have put it in front of the Archer, in which case the Archer doesn't get to shoot face. But if he does that, then if both 6/3s, the 6 attack creatures are cleared, then he misses his kill. I think it was probably right to take 1 damage and 1 mana for a more assured lethal. Especially because if that 1/3 doesn't move, it either forces Spiro to make an extra desert or a flash wind or something if he wants to get a Wind Soldier to the 6/4.
Right. And, yeah, that's going to be game over, though. Spirospero cannot get enough damage to kill him.
So I guess this is the whole. Let's see if we can make them panic for a bit and
Yeah.
show them I was close. And he was close. 4 damage is not that much.
Yeah, very close.
What would have happened if he'd hit with the follower the turn before? I guess he would still have been 2 damage short because he loses the flash wind even if he gets 2 hits with the follower.
It's kind of hard for me to tell if it would have made too big of a difference.
Yeah, I don't think he could have cleared. I think the King's Faithful did a lot of work. Like letting Thormond go double neutral, explore double neutral meant he was on top of Spiro's face incredibly fast. And so he didn't have to fear Kaleem because of that. So yeah, I would say to people who haven't seen this tech before or are still wondering if it was good, that game is suggests it is. Okay, so now we've got the mirror and they're expanding to opposite sides, which is interesting. So Thormond can probably guess it's red mid-range. It's not 100%, but only red mid-range and sometimes blue start with their lands like this, and it's much more common for red than for blue. So they're both setting up a fast attack again. Thormond has the ability to hit face already if he Horse Masters. he's actually got quite a nice attack where he double lands, um, so he can put the Horsemaster on face, scoop the Axe Grinder, hit for 5, and then put the King's Faithful behind it. And Spiro's also got this really fast start where he goes Fire Elemental, make the second mountain, and ideally play a Shadeen Pest, but in this case I guess play a Hate Seed. So yeah, both of them have their own forms of acceleration to make this race pretty blindingly fast. This is going to be a short game. I mean, I guess maybe not if Spiro makes his mountain a home like he looks like he's doing, but just from their lands, it looked like neither of them were gonna defend, and both just opted into the race.
Alright, and sorry about that, guys. I was adjusting the game sound. I didn't realize you couldn't hear the Feria sounds, so hopefully it's better now.
So one option Thormond does have is he could play the King's Faithful at home, blocking the Hate Seed, and campfire it.
What if he just blocked with a Horsemaster instead? So he does like a double land, Horsemasters the 5/4 to hit face, and just plays King's Faithful.
That's definitely the more aggressive line, and I don't dislike it. Then again, that's pretty all in, because instead of taking good trades, you are in fact taking bad trades.
Okay, so he's going to do a slightly lesser extent of my play.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. So he set up the trade now by having both 3/2s here, and he I can't remember exactly your line, but he didn't make the land for Spiro, which I think was a good idea.
Right. Yeah. My idea was to, instead of putting the King's Faithful here, put it to the bottom left of Axe Grinder, and then make the land. But notably, it would have made the land for the opponent, so I think Thormond's line was actually better.
Yeah, I think Thormond's line was nicer. He's got the 3/2 in position now, so he has the option of finishing off the 5/4, 4/5, and he forced Spiro to make another land rather than drawing or +1ing.
Poor Spyro with his hand.
Yeah,
Triple Hate Seed early and a Firebringer. This is a nightmare in the
brutal.
mirror.
It's also, I think that means Spiro needs to try and end things fast, because clearly he has to play the Hate Seeds. He can't wait. And if he's played all 3 Hate Seeds at 5 cost, and the game goes long, at some point Thormond's going to draw 1 cost Hate Seeds. Wait, Spiro knows that Thormond has a campfire, or should do. Though, I'll be interested to see if Thormond hits face or takes a trade now. Yeah, going face. So Spiro can't ground shaker to punish that. Cyphers doesn't change it either way. He can kill the 5/4, which you could argue is a punish, but I guess...
Well, he could Outland Ranger to campfire the Hate Seed to hit into the Axe Grinder now.
That would be pretty nice. Though if he did that, Thormond just hits him again, plays another King's Faithful. Yeah, no, I like Thormond's choice given that he has another King's Faithful. Red midrange doesn't have taunt, so I just don't think it's going to be possible to kill 2 King's Faithfuls before he gets the opponent below 3.
Right. And that's it. Thormond's going to win 2-0.
Yep.